Well, we're just 4 days away from a California recall election that could cost Governor Gavin Newsom his job. The latest poll from the Public Policy Institute of California shows Larry Elders leading among the Republican challengers, and he joins us now. Larry, it's wonderful to have you. Thank you for coming on the show. Give us the lay of the land. What's the state of the campaign as you head into this last weekend before the recall election?
Well, Dana and Bill, thank you for having me on this very somber day before the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Well, the state of play is media hypocrisy. I've been accused, Dana, of not liking women based upon a 21-year-old article I wrote and based upon some fallacious allegations. Rose McGowan, the actress whose career was ruined because she wouldn't sleep with Harvey Weinstein, just said yesterday publicly that the wife of Gavin Newsom contacted her 6 months before the Harvey Weinstein story broke and asked her on behalf of Harvey Weinstein's lawyer, how can we make this story go away? Now, I don't know whether or not it's true, but where's Politico, where's CNN, where's the Washington Post, where's the New York Times, all of whom wrote about allegations made against me, but there's a radio-free zone silence over this story. I find it pretty hypocritical. This would be a bombshell if it were alleged that my wife or my girlfriend, 6 months before the Harvey Weinstein story broke, contacted Rose McGowan on behalf of Harvey Weinstein's lawyer and said, how can we make this story go away? But a tree fell in the forest, and it's not making a sound.
Okay, so I understand the argument you're making there, sir, but you're also making an argument about the reality of California and what they're living in right now. Homelessness has been a big part of your campaign. The flight out of California has been a big part of your campaign.
Absolutely.
If you think it's so bad in California, and the direction for the state is in such a bad direction, what does it say about California if Gavin Newsom survives?
Well, I don't think he's going to survive, and you're absolutely right. For the first time in our state's 170-year history, people are leaving. Middle-class people are leaving. Rich people are leaving, and they're leaving because of the rise in crime, the rise of homelessness, the outrageous taxes, the outrageous regulations, bad forest management. We're running out of water. We're having rolling brownouts. All of these things are happening, which is why 2 million people signed that petition to have Gavin Newsom recalled, and a quarter of them or a third of them were the very people, independents and Democrats, who voted for him just 2 years earlier. And a very prominent Democrat named Gloria Romero, she used to be the state Senate majority leader, has crossed party lines. She hasn't renounced her party and has endorsed my campaign because I support school choice. A disproportionately large percentage of the students in our government schools are black and brown students who are getting ripped off because they're getting the worst teachers, the worst principals, the worst bureaucrats, and the worst outcomes from our public schools. So for all those reasons, I don't believe that Gavin Newsom is going to have a job after September 14th. He have to go back to running his winery, which, by the way, was exempted from the mandates that he shoved down the throats of everybody else.
I think that's one of the things that people say that they're frustrated with, right, is the hypocrisy. The other day when you had that situation, the woman in the gorilla mask throwing the eggs, causing disruption, I mean, that was, that was something that was super disturbing. And I wonder if you know if law enforcement is trying to locate her, arrest her?
I do know that the L.A. County Sheriff, Alex Villanueva, said that it was a hate crime. If I had been a Democrat, can you imagine what would have happened? It would have been talked about in Bangladesh. They would have called it an example of systemic racism. But because I have an R at the end of my name, the story did not get nearly the kind of coverage I think it otherwise would have gotten.
Sir, it wasn't just one woman in a gorilla mask. There were several people there. It's all on camera. A lot of people are saying that this was assault. So then the question is, for law enforcement, why has nobody been arrested?
That's a good question. Now, under this governor, 20,000 convicted felons were released early. Maybe the person that threw that thing at me was one of them. We've got soft on crime DA in Los Angeles who was endorsed by Gavin Newsom. Crime is going up. We have a 41% violent crime increase in L.A. By that, I'm talking about shootings and homicides. It's one of the many reasons why people are leaving California and one of the many reasons why Gavin Newsom is going to be recalled on September the 14th.
When they asked for President Biden and Kamala Harris to come and campaign, did that give you an indication that the Governor Newsom's team was pretty worried about the situation?
They are scared to death. And what they're really afraid of, Dana, is that Larry Elder from the hood, went to public schools, is going to break this tie that Democrats have over black and brown voters. Again, black and brown voters want choice in education, yet they pull the lever every election for the Democratic Party that stands in the way of the route to go from poverty to middle class, which is to finish high school, one presumably where you can read, write, and compute at grade level. And they're deathly afraid that Larry Elder will break that hold they have over these black and brown voters. So that's why Obama's coming in. That's why Bernie Sanders cut a commercial for him. Senator Warren did. And by the way, Dana, they never uttered these following words: Gavin Newsom has done a good job for the people of California. They haven't said that. They talked about it being a Republican takeover, but they're not defending its record on crime, on homelessness, on the rise of the cost of living, on the fact that people are leaving California for the very first time. They're not saying Gavin Newsom has done a good job for California, because he hasn't.
All right.
Sir, thank you for your time.
Watch on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on Tuesday. Larry Elder with us today. Thank you, sir. Recalls are difficult. We know you know the history. We'll see whether or not you can succeed. Thank you, sir.